This is how I think of time. The past is before, and the present is the after. Before was reality, the after, a nightmare. Before, I was happy. I had friends and sleepovers. I wanted to learn how to drive, to get a jump start on my learner's permit. The worst thing in my life was math homework and not being allowed to date. I thought my parents were so clueless, my dad with all his green concerns. I told my friends he was an eco-douche, and my mom, who was never home except for Sunday night family dinner. I was kinder to my mom, though, and only called her a workaholic. Her job was with the government, her work very hush-hush. I always thought of myself as smart, and I was definitely a smart ass to my parents. I loved seeing them squirm, letting them know that I didn't buy into their because I said so crap. I was good in school. I could always guess the endings of movies and books. Now there is no school. There are no more movies, no new books, no more friends. The creatures arrived on a Saturday. I know it was a Saturday because if it were a weekday, I would have been at school and I would be dead. Sundays, I went with my father to visit his parents at Sunny Pine, and if they had come on a Sunday, I would also be dead. I remember that the electricity flickered, and I was annoyed because I was watching TV. I had wondered if my father was on the roof, screwing around with the solar panels. They didn't require much maintenance, but he liked to hose them off twice a year, which always messed with all our electronics. I checked the garage. His electric car was gone. He was at the farmer's market, probably overpaying for organic carrots. I microwaved some pizza bagels, the ones my mom hid from my dad at the back of the freezer, and sat back in front of the TV, flipping through the channels mindlessly. I wished my parents would listen to me and upgrade to the premium cable package. I thought life was so unfair. My mother had bought my father a brand new electric car for more money than I would probably need for college, but she wouldn't spend $50 extra a month to get some decent television. I checked my cell phone, but there were no calls from Sabrina or Tim. I was supposed to go to a movie with them later. Tim had been madly in love with Sabrina forever, but her parents would only let her go out with him if I tagged along. I joked with Sabrina about being the old spinster in a 19th century novel. "No secret love child for you two," I'd tell her with a wink, "not while Matron Amy is on duty." I didn't really mind being their chaperone. They never made me feel awkward or like a third wheel. Sabrina hadn't even decided if she was all that into Tim. I'd been friends with her since 5th grade, when I was the weirdo who skipped a grade, and she was the nice girl who didn't treat me like I had the plague. Pretty soon we were friends, and stayed besties through middle school and into high school. I tossed my phone on the coffee table and kicked up my feet, giving my full attention to the TV screen for the first time. But I noticed that even when I changed the channel, the picture stayed the same. I paused, curious. The president was making a speech. Boring. I ate my snack, only half listening. "It has come to our attention," the president droned, "that we are not isolated in this attack." I sat up, my bite half chewed. Attack? I was too young to remember the string of terrorist attacks at the beginning of the century, but my mother worked for the government and was constantly talking about our lack of counter-terrorist mechanisms. I turned up the volume. The president looked exhausted, bags under his eyes, makeup caked on for the cameras. "The structure landed in Central Park early this morning," he said into 20 microphones. "As of now, the fate of anyone residing in New York City and the surrounding suburbs is unknown. We are working to find the cause of this interruption in communication as soon as—" He was cut short. The breaking news logo flashed across the screen. I took a swig of soda. It was strange that the network had interrupted the president. I didn't understand what they were talking about, didn't know what it all meant yet. I glanced at the screen, and what I saw nearly made me choke on my soda. They had footage of the structure in the park. Something